Morning, Tarot Sphere. It's Holly from Cape Cod Creatures. How are you? Here with another morning review. I'm really excited for it.
Morning, Tarot Sphere. It's
oh my
Holly from
goodness.
Cape Cod Creatures.
I keep
How
forgetting to do
you?
this. All right, sorry. I popped my chat out in a weird way, but I have to remember to mute the actual video, and I just never do. But anyway, I'm here with a morning review for the Considerate Cat Tarot. Good morning, how are you? Oh my goodness, everyone, Monique from Dead Serious Woo is here, and her channel is The Bomb, and you need to subscribe to it right away. Her videos are so polished and hilarious, it'll make you feel bad about your channel immediately. She's fantastic, though. You need to follow her. She's great. Good morning, Brenda. How are you? And Carice, how are you this morning? Anyway, so yeah, oh my goodness, so excited. We got a good crew on. We are here to review the Considerate Cat Tarot, which if you love cats, you kind of need. Crystal Mama, how are you? Celtic Morningstar is here this morning as well. Oh, my nose is itchy because Beaker's. So it took a little bit to get on this morning because I had Beaker out and he was being a giant dick. So I had to put him back. I just couldn't. But his like little feathery dusties are still floating around and getting all on my face, making me itchy. Hi, Leona. How are you? Oh my goodness. So everyone is here, you guys. I love it. I love it. Oh, I missed you guys all so much. Considerate Cat Tarot. So this was a Kickstarter. I forget when I backed it. But I've had this. I've had this for a while now. So at least a month. So I want to say as far as Kickstarters go, this Kickstarter did get out fairly quickly. We had to wait for the deck wasn't complete when I backed it. There were a few more images, but for the most part, I want to say she had like 60 out of 78 cards. So she finished them as she went through the campaign. And then the decks came out to us very quickly. And then we also had the option. I was really sad because at some point she was just like, yeah, well, I'm going to make a guidebook. And because at first I thought it was just supposed to come with a little white book. And she was like, yeah, well, I'm going to make a guidebook. And if you want to get this like schmancy guidebook that kind of tells a whole bunch about the cats that are featured in the deck, because the deck features foster and rescue cats. If you want to know a little bit about if you want to know more and you want like an in-depth guidebook, you have to buy the book. And the book was kind of expensive for my budget at the time. So I forewent the book. So imagine my pleasant surprise when I opened the package. When I opened it, there was this cute little thank you card with little cat paws on there. I think she had those like stamped and then printed. They're super cute. Look at those. And then there was a really cute enamel pin. Hi, Tiffy. Oh my God, I miss you so much. There was a cute little enamel pin, which ironically, the cat probably knocked it off my my nightstand, and now I can't find it, which means that while I was cleaning up at some point, I either accidentally threw it away or it's somewhere in this impossibly large pile of clothes. So I have to figure out where the heck that went. But I can order them. I can order new pins. For those that are just popping on that want to know more about the deck, the link to the deck is in the description box below. So yeah, unfortunately, like I can't show you the really cute enamel pin that came with it because I don't know where the fuck it is. And then aside from the deck, this is the little little white book. I was very excited about this. Considering I thought it was just going to be like a little fold-out pamphlet. It's a full color with like little doodaddies of each of the cards. Just enough to get you through if you're new to tarot or if you're new to the imagery. Unfortunately, it doesn't go into like why she chose the stuff that she chose. But I find that with little white books, you do get keywords, and those are kind of a window into what the author's thinking when they're creating the card. Because again, the existential crisis that I'm having where tarot is concerned, the cards mean so many things that they mean everything and all at once nothing. I just get so stuck, especially with artistic interpretations of cards, which tend to skew a little more one way or another with the meaning of the card. So having a little white book when I'm using an art deck that isn't super blatantly Rider-Waite is kind of nice to have this by here, so I can get some insight into what the author was thinking as far as keywords and whatnot, or the artist. Arthur, oh my God, artist, author. I'm having a morning. Good morning, Applejacks. How are you? So excited to see you on here. I have a comment I need to reply to you for. I didn't forget. I just haven't gotten there yet. So this is the box that the tarot came in. Nice little 2-piece box. It doesn't have the cutouts on the sides, but it does have really cute little flowers. And when it's full of cards, I actually took the cards out because I was like, oh, it'll be easier to do the review this way. And apparently I was wrong. When it's full of cards, it does open fairly easily because the bottom part is heavy. The inside is finished with this adorable little kitty. Look at it. Look at it. It's so cute. And then it's got a nice ribbon to lift the cards out. The back is just a couple of pictures of the deck with the website. Nothing too, like, you know, publishy. And then the quote on the inside said, "This deck is dedicated to all the cats of the world, especially the ones waiting for a home." So that is really, really sweet. And they fit in there really well. This is the deck. So they're not really banging around in there, which is nice. It does make putting them back a little bit of a... So the way that the ribbon's in there is a little weird. It's glued to the side. That's the only complaint I really have about the production of the deck, is if the ribbon wasn't, like, you have to tuck the ribbon in first in order to put the cards in, so that way, because otherwise it like catches on the side and you can actually see a little bit where the glue is coming up from the ribbon. I'll probably wind up cleaning that off and like just repositioning the ribbon. Does some of the cost of the deck go to a shelter? I believe it funds her fostering and her rescue work. Let me pull up her website real quick. Considerate Cat Tarot. Volunteering and charity work. Let's see. You know what? Honestly, I have no idea. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I have no idea whether or not the proceeds go directly to a charity, but I think what it does is it helps her have money to live her life so she can foster cats, because I think that's really what she's into. Thank you. Let's see. So welcome to the, and then this is the welcome card, card for her website. And this says, "Welcome to the Considerate Cat Tarot, a deck filled with hundreds of cats waiting to guide you through your spiritual journey. This deck is a tool that could be used for mindfulness, meditation, understanding, focus, and exploration. I hope you enjoy. Kindly, Madeline and the cats." So, yeah. So the guy that I buy my crystals from, actually, it's very much the same situation. He has a little crystal show down at the local, like the woo-woo store. And he fosters and rescues a bunch of cats. So every time I buy my crystals, I kind of feel a little less bad about it, because I know that, like, ultimately, like, every time I go in, he's like, "Yeah, we just got in 4 kittens. They're all deathly ill. Got to take care of them." So every time, like, I know that, like, okay, this money's going to at least a good place for him to be able to do what he does. And like, he just won some award for most cats fostered in a year. He's crazy, but in a good way. Good old Jerry. I want to get him that. I don't know if you guys follow Adam Ellis, the web cartooner guy, but there's a sweatshirt and it says Crystal Daddy. I want to get him it so bad. But he gets enough of my money. If he wants a Crystal Daddy sweatshirt, he can buy it himself. Okay, so this is the deck. And it is nice. Oh my God, you guys, it is so good. I've already shuffled it. I didn't bother to put it back into order for you. I will start with one of the negatives, and it's most decks. It's got a little Boeing 747 there. I don't know if you can see the cards are kind of making a U shape. I think it's partially due to the humidity here. It's been really, really humid this year. But it is what it is. So the cardstock is nice and thick, very slippery, which means it rifle shuffles really well, really, really well. I know some people call it riffle. I call it rifle. I don't know why. I don't know what's correct, but I'm gonna stick with my rifle shuffling. The color is really good. There are borders, but the borders aren't huge. I do wish she did like a borderless edition. That would be really cool. Her artwork is really adorable. I don't see myself trimming this deck anytime soon. The image on the back has two cats, so that way you can use the card in reverse if you want. You can't tell which is which. For those that like to read their reversals. And then just onto the artwork, it's really cute. So she uses instead of pages, knights, kings, pages, knights, queens, kings, she uses son, daughter, and I think she might still use queen and king. This is the 10 of cups. The daughter of cups. Oh, what a jerk. Getting ready to shove that. Hold on. This is just such a cute little card. Like, we all know what's going to happen there. We all know what's going to happen there. Like, although I don't know that this is appropriate. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Like, that's an interesting interpretation for the daughter of cups. What's this one? The sun, where it's a cat laying in the sun on a rug. Oh my God, such a good one. Father, so she uses mother and father. So son, daughter, mother, father. Instead of knights, kings, this is the father of pentacles, which is super adorable. My cat would never stand still for this. This is the moon. Yeah, Tiffany, you would really, really like this tarot deck. Tiffany, oh my God. So you guys, my friend Tiffany just got gifted, bequeathed, I don't know, like handed down her oh my God, now husband. That's weird. That's weird to say. I don't like that at all. So her hubby just got his mom just gave him this super awesome vintage deck, which I'm trying to get my mitts on at some point, so I can at least show it off online and then give it back to her because it's hers rightfully. But ooh, I love this one for the star. It's a kitty constellation. Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird having like I grew up with this girl. We've been friends since easily like the 7th, 8th grade. And it's so weird. Hi, Beefleby. So yeah, the imagery on these cards, like really cute. And she does manage to capture, like if you're looking for a fluffy, positive, no sadness town deck, this would probably be it for you. She manages to capture the meaning of some of the cards pretty well. Some of them are like a bit of a stretch. The Son of Pentacles. This looks like the cover of like a cat parody metal band, like album cover, but I like it. The Tower. I don't know that this captures the tower for me because my cat loves his cat tower an awful lot. Yes. So hopefully some developments in that, Tiffany, as far as getting some days off and stuff are concerned. But I'll talk to you about it a little bit later. So I don't know that this really captures the tower for me because my cat loves his cat tower and he's only ever fallen off of it once. Like it's never fall. The Gilded Tarot deck. Like, I don't know. I've probably, honestly, I'm having trouble accessing my mental database as far as the Gilded Tarot deck is concerned. Can you post a link to it? But yeah, the cards are beautiful. The stock is gorgeous. The artwork is nice and gentle. What's this one? The Hanged Man. Oh, you know what? That's a good one for the Hanged Man. I'd also think that that's a good one for the Tower. But Hangman is probably a little more appropriate because it's kind of like a, well, where the fuck do I go now? I got to hang out here for a while until I figure this shit out. Yeah, our Tower is really cheap. And oh, this is the Death card. Oh, yeah. So I guess this would be like one of the saddest cards here. Especially if you don't like seeing cats in skeleton form. The Nine of Pentacles. So that one's a little pippy. Some of these do get a little pippy. This one is the Eight of Pentacles. I wonder if she did Pentacles first and then kind of moved on to some of the other ones. This one is the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, Brenda, you're right. Some are depicted perfectly, some not so much. But I think that is the case with every, I mean, that's going to be the case with every art deck, really. At the end of the day, nothing is going to be, unless you create a tarot deck for yourself, no deck is ever going to be 100% like perfect for you. As far as depicting the cards are concerned, or the meanings of, or your perceived meanings of the cards, or our perceived meanings of the cards. Nothing is going to line up 100%. And I think that's like the beauty and the frustration of, and what's this one? The Chariot, an old Volkswagen bus. That's so cute. This is the 5 of Pentacles. I think at some point when I go to replace my enamel pin, I will also get the book that describes each of the cats. But it's an adorable deck. I'm probably not gonna flip through the rest of them. Oh, except for I will show you this one. It's one of my favorites. The High Priestess is a cat in a wingback chair. It's adorable. Oh, and the Empress is adorable too. The Mystical Cats Tarot. Oh my God. Yeah, so that's another good one, which I actually have right down below. That is pretty much, as far as cat tarot decks are concerned, I feel like that is considered like the pinnacle of tarot meets cats. So this is pretty decent shuffling. Very slippy. I would lift it up to show you the full rifle, but like I said, it's very slippy. That's probably better. So if you wanted to just smooch them back in, you can do that because they're so slippy. I do prefer to do the bridge just because it bends your cards back the other. Yeah, all cat tarot decks kind of aspire to be the Mystical Cats Tarot. Maybe one day I'll do like a comparison of cat tarots because I feel like I have another one floating around here somewhere. I got this one. I got Mystical Cats. And off the top of my head, I cannot think of the other one. Maybe I'm thinking Tarot of the Cat People, which I don't have, but that one's not so much cats. But anyway, so we will go ahead and do, hand over hand shuffling. Beautiful, because of how slippy the cards are. Like seriously, it goes so fast. It's so nice. I don't know who she uses a printer, but Pagan Cats. Oh, and you know what else I just got too? The Cat Tarot, CATAROT, which is that is a super art deck. It features cats in historical and pop culture references, but it doesn't really have the White Pagan Cats, and I've got the Black Cat Tarot. That's another one that I've got. I don't have the White Cat Tarot. And then Pagan Cats. And then what was another one? There's a few others, but yeah, there's a ton of cat tarots. Also, you know what? I'll sort through my collection, pull out everything I have that's cats, and we'll do comparison videos. I'll pull a few cards that are good. But yeah, it shuffles beautifully. I can't figure out what to do with this shirt. The Marseille cat. I don't have the Marseille cat. At some point, I told myself that I would get good at reading So I feel like I'm going to fail on my Monique will appreciate this. I told myself, oh, the Bohemian Cats. Yep, that's another good one. I told myself at some point, maybe we'll have like a big cat tarot party. Each of us will pick a cat tarot deck, and then we'll just all review them online. We'll take turns. That'll be like, we'll have a chat with Crazy Cat Lady Tarot. Like it'll be so good. But yeah, I told myself that I would get better at reading pips, and I would get better at reading reversals, and I have the books for both, and I have cracked neither books. So good times. Monique, however, seems to be taking her studies a tad more seriously than I. We have the same book, the Tarot Reversals for Beginners or whatever that is. Green cover, yellow across. I just haven't cracked it yet. Sadness. All right. So we're going to do some readings. If anybody has any questions, you just go ahead. We'll give this bad Larry a spin. In the meantime, dog tarot, somebody mentioned that. There is a dog tarot coming out, and it's by I think it's the Magical Dog Tarot, which is going to be the sister deck to the Mystical Cat Tarot. So if you need a dog tarot, that would be one of the ones, because the Mystical Cat Tarot reads so beautifully. I don't actually, let me pull that Llewellyn deck. Woohoo! Look at that. It was right there the whole time. This one came in an amazing box, magnetic flap. Awesome book, which is upside down. Although my little box has a little rip right here. Whatever. And then it does that horrible, stupid thing that the Llewellyn decks do, which is like, hey, there's no... So... Hay House got it right with the Mystical Shaman deck. I don't know if any of you guys have that one. I have it at work, and eventually I will bring it home so that way I can review it. But it's a big display box like this. It's so beautiful. But on the inside is a smaller 2-part box. Like it's like one of these. So you can like still store it in here and have like your beautiful set for your shelf. But if you want to carry it around, you don't have to carry around this ginormous honking box, which is awesome. But yes. So this is the Mystical Cats Tarot. It's a gorgeous little deck, no borders. So if you prefer a cat deck with no borders, what's this? The Fire Queen. So it doesn't use traditional suits. It does earth, air, wind, fire. And it, yeah. Oh, you gotta go walk the kids to school? Oh, so sad. Well, yay for walking the kids to school. That's always a good time. I'll tell them to have a safe walk and whatnot, but we'll miss you. Bye. But yeah, this is just like your typical Llewellyn deck. The cardstock's a little flimsier, but it is nice and slippy. It's like one of those you could totally use it, and then if you need another copy, it's not a big deal because it's a Llewellyn deck, so there's like a bajillion of them. And relatively affordable as opposed to an indie deck. So that is the Mystical Cats in a nutshell. Really cute, definitive as far as cat decks are concerned. They just really captured a lot of the meanings of the cards so well. And there's a dog tarot coming out that's going to be basically the exact same thing, but with dogs. It's called the Magical Dog Tarot as opposed to the Mystical Dog Tarot. And then the Carice, are you going to work? Aw. Oh, Celtic Morning Star has a question. Where should you focus to find a better job? The want ads, but all right. So where should you focus for finding a better job or career advancement or just career betterment? Yay. Yep, we'll go ahead and like that was such a lame joke, and I'm sorry in advance that I made that joke. I'm sorry. It was just so stupid. All right, so where should Celtic focus to find a better job? All right. We're doing a 3-card pull here. That's the one I want you. All right. All right, so you got the Son of Pentacles. And you got the Fool. And you've got the Ace of Cups. This is a really interesting reading. I just want to see what she put down for the sun before I go ahead, and because I've got that heavy metal cover stuck in my head. Caution and sensibility. That makes no sense. This says nothing about caution and sensibility. This says everything about angsty goth, trip hint wearing teenager right here. Okay, where to focus? So these two put together speak to me a little bit about, just because of the association that I've already tacked on to the card, a little bit about attitude and education, if that makes any sense. You know, like again, I've already tacked on angsty goth teenage mode to this card, and that's kind of like it's kind of what I'm getting. Like maybe you're kind of stuck in a negative thought pattern about where you are with your job, and negative always attracts negative. So if you can kind of try to break that like grumpy, like everything sucks and this is stupid thought cycle, as far as you know, improving, like, because that's going to improve relationships and stuff at work. It's also going to help you with networking, which is where I was going to go with this card. The Ace of Cups is all about emotional connection and, you know, like good feelings and good vibes and all that good stuff, like your cup overfloweth, and inviting new of that sort of stuff into your life, as opposed to focusing on the, yeah, I did look up the right card. It said, so for the Son of Pentacles, for the Son of Pentacles, it says caution and sensibility. You're going to receive good news about money, but it's a modest amount. Don't go crazy, though, or you'll wind up just where you started with money problems. So maybe that has something, see right there, caution and sensibility. So maybe that's some good news for you. But again, like the whole vibe of this card reads to me snarky teenager. Like, you know, like I'm listening to Taking Back Sunday with a Marilyn Manson twist in my room, and like just being antisocial and not wanting to do anything with it. Like it's more introverted, and I don't know, it's very dark and kind of drag you down, and like there's a little bit of hope there, but you know, start to focus on you know, maybe coming out of your negative thought patterns and that isolated shell, because this cat, like inside the pentacle, also looks very closed off to me. Like it's all very like, there's a bubble, there's a protective bubble around that cat, like a don't come into my space. Like you've got to learn to be a little more positive. And then the Fool's Journey speaks to me a bit about education and starting to branch out and widening what's called your circle. I'm throwing a little bit of networking stuff at you. Oh, the Son of Pentacles, sorry. Yeah, it's so because she uses mother, father, son, daughter instead of knight, knight, page, queen, king. But yeah, I'm sorry. So the Fool Journey, it's like, it's all about the beginning, right? And positivity and just going at stuff with verve and vigor. So maybe adding some sort of a learning aspect, like broadening your education, even if it's taking even if it's going to YouTube University and like learning stuff about the career that you want to go in. But this card is talking to me a little bit more about, or this whole reading is talking to me a little bit more about developing your professional relationships, and coming out of your little personal bubble in order to make it happen. And it's going to be difficult, but eventually at the end of the day, forming those new business relationships and new professional relationships and whatnot is going to open up something for you as far as a career is concerned. Like it just kind of, yeah, like something you're passionate about, but it's also like in business and career and whatnot, it's all about who you know, not what you know. like, you got to know a little, but, little nepotism never hurt anyone if it's going to be in your favor. So start developing those professional relationships, because it's going to separate you from a sea of, faceless applicants. If you have networking events, go to them. If you have, like Chamber of Commerce dinners, go to like dinners or breakfasts or meetings or BNI groups, like whatnot, like start kind of broadening your horizons. They have a ton of free events you can go to, like start looking that kind of stuff up. Look up, like Meetup for that kind of thing. I just, for whatever reason, oh, a feather. Little floaty feather guy. Where are you, feather guy? Oh, he's already floating down. Yeah, if you're really looking to kind of get out of what you do now and head more towards what you know, it's like just kind of put some feelers out is really the way to do it. And you don't do it by being all grumpy and like introverted and isolated. You have to, oh, hi, Sergio, how are you? You kind of do it by, breaking out of your patterns and kind of fool's journeying it. Go be the life of the party. Anyway, yes, go to that and, maybe arm yourself with a little bit of like whatever it is that you want to do. Even if you like go to the Wikipedia pages, go to YouTube University, see if there's, some sort of like website or whatnot where you can like kind of at least get some talking points and develop some smart questions to ask the people that are at the event. Yep, you gotta maybe do a little bit of networking. But anyway, that is the reading for you. So sometimes what I do with my decks, you guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but cards will take on their own meanings outside of like, oh, that is the Senate, that is the, the Knight of Pentacles, and that's what this means. I'll give a card its own meaning because it just looks so much different from the meaning of a card. But anyway, if anyone else wants a reading, you go ahead and put it down. We were talking about dog and cat decks. So dog decks, if you go to my last morning review, oh my God, it's 10:08 already. Oh, holy cannoli. If you go to my, yes, absolutely. You can do a yes or no question. Of course, Brenda. When have I ever said no to you? I can't say no to you. But of course. So the woman that did what did I do with it? Here it is. The Crow Tarot has a new deck on Indiegogo for dogs. It's the mystical, maybe that's the mystical dogs or the mystical wisdom or the magical wisdom of dogs. It's on Indiegogo. It's a dog tarot. And the images are very similar to, not very similar, but the art style is still very similar with it's a little cleaner, which is interesting and kind of makes me want it. But after my whole experience with this, I don't know if I want to back it, only because she said it's going to be a completely 100% indie deck, like going to do nothing else with it than that. But if it does wind up going large print, like I want the professional printed one. Like that was just such a poopy experience. I can't help but be like, no, I want the other one. Brenda, question? Did it freeze? Did it freeze down here, you guys? So yeah, Brenda, if you want me to do the yes or no question, 100%, absolutely. Do you want me to just pull a yes or a no for you without knowing the question? Because that would be interesting. Oh, all right. So I like these questions. So it's not a yes or no, it's an either or. Either or questions are like really the best questions for tarot. And like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Yay, either or questions. Whenever I do a reading in person, I try to steer the person, because the person already, like, especially when there's like a decision or a this or a that, or like a should I, shouldn't I, either or, oh my God, I'm so excited that you asked either or. Pay for advertising or wait for insurance panel referrals. So you pull cards for each one. You pull 3 and 3 for each question, and then you go by what looks better. And then, of course, you have to do like the whole checking in, you know, checking in with your intuition, ask yourself the questions. What's your first gut reaction? Yada, yada. But we'll do, all right. I'm going to do a rifle, and then I'm going to cut the deck. All right. Now I got your question. All right. You typed it twice. Oh, my goodness. You're forgiven. Okay. So this is for the advertising. So when I do an either or, what I do is I shuffle the deck really well, and then I cut the deck in two. And then the bottom pile I use for the first question, the top pile I use for the second question, and then I would draw cards like I normally would. Like this is for the insurance panel referrals. I, you know, I do like a bottom, middle, and top card usually is where I draw from those. I don't do like from the exact top. I do like, you know, unless I'm feeling it. But anyway. So for advertising, paying for advertising, interesting. And then just waiting for referrals. What about because this is okay. So for your first, like paying for advertising, you got the 5 of Wands, always a good one. Yay. But you also got the Mother of Cups and the 5 of Swords. And these are interesting because both of these look like a bountiful garden, and like that. So the Father of Cups is, especially like the Father of Swords, like he's in a garden. He can't necessarily see a payoff, but look at like all that stuff under the ground. Like you've got fantastic amounts of carrots. You've got all sorts of like a really strong root system. This says to me like there's more going on underneath, but in a positive way. Like it just, you know, like everything's, as far as your idea is concerned, has come to fruition. And then the Mother of Cups, she's sitting in a beautiful, oh, I know, I'm sorry. I pulled some extra cards just to, I'll tell you where I was going in a second. And then the Mother of Cups is sitting like in this beautiful garden of roses, and she looks fat and happy and content. But she also feels a little closed off here, like a little bit, like a little more, like a inner turmoil, I guess. And then the 5 of Wands kind of speaks to that difficulty. I think as far as searching out advertising options are concerned, depending on where you advertise, it can be very confusing. They can be very aggressive. You can feel very, you know, beaten over the head as far as that's concerned. So I don't think it's going to be a pleasant thing for you to go seeking out advertising. Like you're going to be like, this is so awesome. I'm super glad I did this. But ultimately, I think it'll pay off. You know, you plant the seeds, your garden grows kind of a thing. And then the just waiting for referrals, you got the 10 of Wands, which is kind of a mixed bag as far as that's concerned. Like it's well, your journey's almost there and harvest was clearly bountiful, but now you got to haul all this bullshit to market. And like you've worked really hard and now you have to still work hard in order to get to the end. So good times. And it can indicate a little bit of a burden. And then you got the Father of Wands, which is somebody who is, you know, super accomplished as far as their passion's concerned. Like they've kind of figured it out on their own. And then you've got the Two of Pentacles, which is very wishy-washy. Like you see the two cats, the one toy, and I know this one doesn't necessarily read well as far as that card is concerned, but I've always seen the Two of Pentacles as a robbing from Peter to pay Paul kind of a card. It's, well, we're going to pay this bill today instead of this bill and just hope for the best, you know, or we'll send like a little bit to each one, or we'll do this, or, you know, it's juggling, especially in the business sense. Oh my God, who is at my front door? I'm not answering that. I don't know who that is. All right. All right, well, I have to, he's ringing the, hang on. I'll be right back, you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. It seems like there's maybe a little bit of a battle as far as deciding about advertising and then just waiting for the insurance referrals. Seems like you'll get there eventually, but it's going to take a while and it's going to be like it's not as much business as you would receive. And then I did a poll for maybe taking advantage of free advertising, like your social medias as far as you can. Like, I don't know what the rules are as far as that's concerned. Like I know my mom does financial stuff. She's not really allowed to do like the face place and the Twitter and the Insta or whatnot. So I don't know what your rules and regulations are as far as that's concerned. But I pulled the Emperor, like doing, like waiting for referrals, but also doing like what you can for free right now. The Three of Swords and the Hierophant. So let's see. I mean, this doesn't necessarily look amazing either. Like that's, I think probably, your best bet is going to be paying for a little bit of advertising, but just being really smart about it. Like pay for only what you can afford, pay for whatever makes you feel comfortable. And then down the road, eventually when you kind of go, I don't want like, oh my God, I can't believe I paid for that advertising. Don't think of it as throwing good money after bad. You have to think of it as making an investment in the growing of your business, I guess, if that makes any sense. And sorry about running away like that, you guys. It was just some rando. We're throwing away an old TV. And so it's like at the top of the driveway. We'll wait for the guy to pick it up. And apparently he wanted the TV. Like, dude. Anyway. Yeah, so yeah, like doing like, so for you got, like I said, you got the for doing the social media. I think you should do it anyway. But you got the Emperor, which is kind of like being in charge of your own, you know, like large and in charge of your own business, and, you know, making like good businessy decisions, I guess. Just kind of surveying your domain and being really practical and letter of the law and, you know, the I always think of him as the historical department, like did you file the proper forms and did you do all the proper things first? Like just make sure it's, you know, to the letter. And then the Three of Swords, which for this one, the Three of Swords always, I'm gonna see what she says for her Three of Swords. Because I don't know. Where are you, swords? This is where art decks sometimes stop me in my tracks. It's just kind of like, well, heartache, rejection, and loneliness. See, this doesn't read that to me. I guess there's a cat walking away and the swords are covered in cobwebs and whatnot. This says to me more stagnation than anything else. I mean, you know, like this doesn't say the traditional heartache to me. This just says, you know, maybe dusting off some skill some skill you didn't have, maybe looking into some options that you like haven't quite looked into yet. It just, you know, some underutilized something or other, or worrying about if you do something like that. Yeah, I mean, you might as well, like, I don't think it's a bad thing to pay for the advertising. Like I know that sometimes it's like, it always seems like, I don't, as far as I'm concerned, every time I pay for advertising, I'm always just like, well, why the fuck am I doing this? Because it's so hard to see, like, and maybe in your industry it's a little bit different, but YouTube wouldn't let me give you your website. Oh my goodness, that's so good. Post it in the comments below in the dooblies. But yeah, maybe it means like dusting off your website, maybe, you know, giving it kind of a revamping. This just says to me more like housekeeping and stagnation and like feng shui and getting the energy flowing, because it looks like you've grown content with the way that things kind of are, which has allowed those cobwebs to grow, as opposed to like rejection. Like, and this is like, you know, it just doesn't, it doesn't say like super horrible heartbreak to me. And then the Hierophant is, you know, tradition. This is like Princess and the Pea to me, more than it says like, yeah, and not even see you later. Like, I didn't even notice you because like you're not getting yourself seen. Like you're just kind of sitting there and being blah, kind of, you know, like kind of people who like, yeah, well, your website's nice, but bye. Like that's kind of like what I'm getting from there. Like, oh, your social, like it's just a really like an old boring, like if you walk into an old boring store, you're just gonna kind of like zoom around and be like, well, that was good, bye. Like, you know, you just gotta spice it up a little. And then you've got the Hierophant, which is you know, tradition and mentoring and whatnot. So maybe, yeah, so maybe this is signifying an internal battle with you between like the cost of it and having that, like, and having it pay off in the end. And I think that's where this, like, is some sort of like battle-y feeling, like, you know, like a bickering, like either the people coming on too strongly and try to get you to pay for stuff that you can't afford, or like, you know, like the little add-on advertising, or you battling with yourself about the cost. Like either way, like it's not like a huge thing, but it's kind of the thing that's making you uncomfortable about it. But in the end, like if you want your garden to grow, you got to invest a little time and money, is kind of where that's kind of taking me. Like, you know, it's a good idea, which I think is why you got the Father of Swords as opposed to the Father of Pentacles. And you just kind of have to like do it, you know? And then the Ten of Wands says to me, like, you've got the passion and the fire, and like this one, like the Ten of Wands, like these guys, you got the fire and the passion to do it. But if you do it without the advertising and just wait for insurance referrals, it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle. And you'll get there because you love what you do, and you know it'll, like, you know, you'll get there eventually, but it's going to be like, it's going to be tight squeeze in the meantime, you know, like you're going to always be until you get there. And you don't want that to kind of sully how you feel about being a business owner. But I think this definitely says that you got to like dust off some of it, like before you go ahead and pay for the advertising, dust off and freshen up like some of your online stuff. So that way when people do look you up from your ads, they're not kind of like, them no and walk by and pass by you because it just looks so stagnant, if that makes any sense. Like you want engaged, fresh, polished. But that is my reading for you. And now it is 10:25 and I am officially super late for work. So, okay, you guys, we are gonna make like trees and leaves. Let me go ahead and pull a card for us. Do I want to do one from this deck? I don't know. I don't think I want to do one from this deck. I think I want to do one from... I want to do one from a different deck. What am I going to pull from today? You know what? I have the Halloween Oracle. Maybe we'll pull from that. Give us kind of a fall vibe. So we'll pull a card. Oh, Monique, are you headed out? Oh, Bill. All right. So let's see. All right. So we're going to pull a card from the Halloween Oracle to kind of give us that fallish vibe because it's 1,000 degrees outside and super humid and I hate it, but I got to go and decorate for Halloween at the store. So we're going to do this deck. All right. So our pull for the day is Lady de los Muertos, Acceptance and Equality. So, I don't know what. Well, acceptance and equality, I guess, because the lady, like the patron saint of death, will you know, she'll take a petition from anyone. It doesn't matter who you are, which is why she's often the patron. Like she's often seen in a bunch of nefarious circles as well, and really difficult to work with. If you don't know how to work with her just right, which is why I am a little hesitant to use. I've got the Dios de los Muertos Tarot, and I ordered the Oracle. But something about it is giving me pause as far as working with it. But as far as acceptance and equality, it says simplify and let go. I don't know. I don't know that acceptance and equality is really what I get with this card so much as working with everything that is kind of thrown your way today, or hearing out everybody. Like this says more to me like you're going to hear from somebody or something that you don't necessarily like, but it's important that you hear it out. So that's what I'm going to say is the takeaway for today. So aside from acceptance and equality, it's just like, well, something's going to come your way and you might not necessarily agree with it. So you got to go ahead and just take it in stride, which I suppose is the acceptance part. But I don't know, when framed with acceptance, when framed with equality, it turns it more in like, I don't know, I get more of like a social issue vibe from that card, which isn't necessarily, it's not a bad thing, but I think it's just, there's a little bit of dissonance going on with the image of the Lady de los Muertos, or the Dia de los Muertos, kind of vibe, if that makes any sense. Like it's just kind of like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, oh, I forgot why I haven't used this in a while, and I think that would be one of the reasons why. Oh, Stacy DeMarco. But anyway, that is my reading for you guys for the day, and I will see you later. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye. Where's the button? There.